So I was very kindly sent a copy of Is She Me by Lauren Grace from Cranthorpe Millner. And this follows Elle. She's a young woman who attempts to escape this cult-like compound that she lives in and the abusive family that she has there after finding this photograph of a young girl who was abducted 19 years previously. And Elle thinks that she may be this missing girl. So she steals a car, she goes on the run, but the car breaks down and she realises that she's stuck. So first, this arrogant, well-dressed man in a sports car stops and she declines his help, but so he goes on his way and she doesn't know what she's going to do. But then this woman called Lucy and her two children also stop and she does accept help from them. So she goes with Lucy to their holiday cottage, and Elle finds out that the man who stopped previously was Lucy's brother Ben. So after saving Lucy's daughter from drowning, Ben and Lucy vow to help Elle find her real parents, find out if she truly is this missing girl, and help her get in touch with the right people. But life isn't that simple, and Elle has to navigate these growing feelings for Ben, dealing with the trauma of her early life and running from the men from the compound who are still out there looking for her, as well as integrating herself into this new family. This is one of the most raw, heartbreaking, gut-wrenching books I have ever read. Grace absolutely does not shy away from the worst of Elle's abusive past and the immense struggles that she's gone through to take back her life and attempt to move on. The relationship that she forms with Ben isn't straightforward either. He's got his own demons to deal with, and it makes this step for both of them, going from this friendship that they formed to a romantic relationship, quite difficult for them. This is not a light, cozy read at all. Elle's story is haunting and authentic. It's depicted with brutal honesty, which makes for a gritty and sometimes quite uncomfortable read. Definitely recommend checking out your trigger warnings before you go into this, as it does deal with some very, very heavy topics, and it's discussed in quite graphic detail, but this is pertinent to the story, and it just emphasises how skilled this author is in writing real and relatable characters that have had real experiences. She has written the perfect combination of healing and trauma, and it goes to show that your past absolutely doesn't define you, and just because you feel like you're broken right now doesn't mean that you can't come back from that. It was pegged as a thriller romance, but I definitely feel like the romance element took the forefront. Not that this is a problem, but the thriller aspect of it kind of lagged behind a little bit. We get a lot of detail about her past and this continued fight that she has against the people from the compound, but this developing relationship between her and Ben definitely is the main focus of the story. You do find yourself rooting for this relationship to work out. They've obviously both got um, a lot of skeletons in their closet, a lot of things that they need to work through, but they do have incredible tension and banter between them. That's quite a lot of fun, and you definitely want them to work out. Not too keen on Ben's behaviour towards the end of the book. A lot of the things that he said were just uncalled for and mean and downright nasty. And I get that he'd got stuff going on himself, but you know, it just, knowing what this woman has been through, he could have made better choices. I didn't like the way the characters used sex as a bridge to mend this relationship either. So they have this huge argument, they don't speak for days, and the first thing that she does is goes to the cottage to see him, jump straight in bed with him, and everything's fine. Instead of talking about things and talking through their problems together. Was really disappointed with the way it ended as well. Felt like there could have been just a little, tiny little bit more instead of it just ending. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Found it hard to put down. I was completely invested in Elle's story and these relationships that she grew around her trauma and her past and how she came back from that. And I rated it 4 stars.